YouTube live. I've done live on Instagram before and Facebook, but I don't think I've ever done it on YouTube. I'm going to start doing a weekly YouTube, and today I wanted to jump on and talk about something that can really, really help you to have more energy throughout the day, to reduce cravings, because oftentimes if you notice that you have this like mid-morning slump, or your cravings are starting to kick in right around that mid like maybe 10:30, 11, the problem could be what you had for breakfast. And oftentimes it's due to not enough protein in your breakfast. So you might be hearing a lot about eat more protein, but I'm jumping on here to talk specifically about protein at breakfast. And I'm gonna give you the reasons why, how much protein, and then some examples of what you could be having for breakfast. So the first thing I wanna talk about is why a high protein breakfast really, really matters. Protein throughout the day matters, but it especially matters at breakfast. First of all, as women, when we get to be over 35, 40, our body starts to get less efficient at creating muscle out of protein. The highest point of the day is those morning hours where our body is the best at taking the protein we eat and turning it into lean muscle. So take advantage of that by getting that protein in at breakfast, right? Another reason is that protein helps to keep your blood sugar stable. So as you're heading into your day, stable blood sugar means higher energy, less cravings. And finally, protein is the most satiating out of all the macronutrients, meaning it keeps you feeling full for longer. So how much protein should you be having? Well, I say shoot for around 30 to 35 grams for breakfast, anywhere up to 60 grams. And I know that might sound like an incredible amount of protein, but if you eat animal protein, you can totally do it. The thing is, back in the day, we all thought, okay, if you eat anything, I was taught as a fitness professional back in the, late 90s, anything over 25 to 30 grams is wasted. Basically, your body can't use anything over that. Well, we now know that that is not true. Even up to like 60 grams, maybe more, but 60 grams, your body can absolutely utilize that in one sitting. The other reason that we want to take this high amount in at one time at breakfast is because you can't just trickle protein little bits amounts through the day to get this. It's called protein synthesis, which is basically how your body takes that protein you eat and turns it into muscle. So you need a large chunk of protein in one sitting in order to get that engine revving, right? So imagine it's like I'm trying to push a rock, right? But it's so heavy I can't get it going. But then I have all these extra people, hello! I have all these extra people helping me push this rock, this boulder, and now I can get it going. So think about protein like that. If you're having a few nuts, that's not gonna be enough to get that protein synthesis engine running. So 25 to 35 grams is great, but again, up to 60 grams of protein. At breakfast, we're talking. And let me give you some examples of what you can eat for breakfast. I know it's a busy time, and meal prepping is great, but I don't meal prep. It takes me I'm so used to making the same thing every day that it's on autopilot. It takes me like 5 minutes, but here's some examples. Okay, the first thing that you can try is like an egg-based meal, but remember, when people are like, oh, I have 2 eggs a day for breakfast, that's only 13 grams of protein. We need to pump that up with some egg whites. So if I'm gonna make, say, an omelet, I'm gonna use 2 eggs with some egg whites to beef up that protein content. You could throw in some veggies, whatever, what have you. You always have a Greek yogurt bowl. Remember what we put in the Greek yogurt. We're trying to keep the sugar low so that we keep that stable blood sugar. So maybe if you're making some Greek yogurt bowl, you could put in some berries. Berries are high fiber, low sugar. Some nuts, some seeds, maybe a little nut butter. There you go. How will that take you? 3 minutes to make? Protein smoothies, protein shakes, that's a great alternative. But also, here's something, let's think outside the box. You can have a savory breakfast. So let's say you have some leftover chicken or turkey from the night before. Maybe you could, take that and scramble it with some eggs and some veggies, top it with some avocado, a dollop of Greek yogurt. Okay, let's talk about this. Greek yogurt is something that you just didn't know you need on your eggs. It is delicious. Do not come at me. Don't knock it till you try it. So I will make myself this morning what I made an omelet, 2 eggs, some egg whites, right? Seasoned it with some salt and pepper. And then on the inside of the omelet, I put some cheese and some 0% Greek yogurt. It's so good. Top it with some avocado and some salsa. Oh my stars. You got to try it and let me know what you think about it when you try it. There's also the trick a lot of people use. If you're making scrambled eggs, throw cottage cheese. You don't have to puree the cottage cheese, okay? You just have to put it into the eggs and then scramble them. All the cheese, the cottage cheese will melt right into the eggs. So quick recap for those of you that are just joining and have any, if you have questions, let me know. I'm seeing a lot of silly things in the comments. But anyways, please try this. Try this for a week. High protein breakfast. Start there. It's a new year. Maybe you're trying to make some healthy changes and you're kind of all over the place because there's so much to do. I highly recommend you start with 2 things. 2 things. A high protein breakfast is number 1. 25 to 35 grams of protein at breakfast, okay? And number 2, walk. It doesn't matter how long, okay? Just get in some walks because it helps to balance your blood sugar. It's a positive impact on your hormones, on your metabolism. Not that hard to do. If you're in a place where it's I'm lucky because I live by the beach in Southern California. But if you're somewhere where it's snow on the ground, listen, walk in place while you're watching TV. It counts. It counts, okay? Especially after lunch or dinner. 5 to 10 minute walk is going to completely balance your... Oh, somebody's asking how many steps per day. Okay, so that whole 10,000 steps per day thing, it's just an arbitrary number. What I would do is if you have a way to track your steps, see where you're at right now. And then just try to add on a little bit from there. So say you're getting 4,000 steps a day right now. Can you get up to 6,000 steps? The thing is that movement. So I like to call walking movement because I'm walking just to get movement in because that has a higher impact on how many calories your body burns a day than workouts do. I'm not saying don't work out if you already are, okay? But what I'm saying is it's called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis. It's a real high percentage of what it contributes to how many calories you burn a day. So even things like, cleaning the house, parking your car far out and walking in, it all adds up. So if you feel like I don't have time to dedicate to an hour-long walk every day, I don't have time to do a 30-minute walk, no matter. Just try to add in movement whenever you get the chance, and I promise you it will have an impact. And again, especially if your concern is balancing your blood sugar, after lunch and after dinner, 5 to 10 minute walk. And again, say you eat dinner with your family and then you sit and watch TV, cool. Just march in place for 5 to 10 minutes. It dramatically lowers your blood sugar. Yeah, I love the working out part, just hate the dieting, and that's where I need help. And I'm glad that you said that because the working out part for a lot of people is the hard part. So give yourself a little pat on the back that you've conquered that. The dieting part, I try to tell people like this. Think about, you want to work out to get strong, to add lean muscle, right? That's the point of the working out. But we want to eat for fat loss. So if your goal is fat loss, really it comes down to two things. I'll tell you right now. Get enough protein, get enough fiber. That's it. I mean, there's obviously a plethora of things that we could go on about, but try to eat a minimum of 100 grams of protein per day. I usually tell people, whatever it is that you want to weigh, what's your realistic weight? So say it's 130 pounds, then that's what you want to aim for in grams of protein per day. If that's nowhere near what you're eating right now, then aim for 100. And then fiber, women, we should be getting 25 to 28 grams, 25 to 28 grams of fiber per day. Men, you're gonna add on 10. So you're talking like 34 to 38 grams of fiber per day. And only 5% of Americans get enough fiber every day. Only 5. If you were to just add more fiber into your diet, the person, I'm sorry, I don't have my glasses on. So the person that said I love working out, but the dieting's where I need help. If you were to just start with that, you would notice a difference. But also, because you're working out, you need to keep in mind that working out, you need to give your body the protein so that it can build that lean muscle. It's like, me going to somebody and saying, hey, can you build me a house? And then the person's like, yeah, I need the wood, I need the hammer, I need the nails. And I'm like, oh no, I'm not gonna give you any of that. And they're like, well, I can't build you a house then. So that's your body. Your body, when you're working out and lifting weights, right? The whole point is that you're breaking down the muscles. And then when you rest and recover, the muscles are repairing. So in order to repair and get stronger, they need the amino acids from the protein. So I would take it one step at a time, pick either the fiber or the protein to start with, because it's just kind of too much in the beginning. But if you're working out, I would say step 1, get that high protein breakfast. It is everything, game changer. Okay, well, I hope that I helped answer some of your questions. I'm going to start doing this every Friday at noon. So if you have questions, let me know. Let's see. Should you eat protein after a workout? Great question. Scarlett, I think. Yes, you should. Before you work out, also, there's this whole thing about fasted workouts, right? That's great for some people for cardio. I would not work out fasted if you're lifting weights, because the point is that you're trying to get stronger and you're trying to lift heavy, right? So if it's like a cardio-based thing, it's not that big of a deal, but you only need about 15 grams of protein before a workout. So, that could be literally, I know this sounds kind of gross, but I will have coffee because I work out really early in the morning. I'll have my coffee. Some people put protein powder in their coffee and then, what do you call that? That blender thing. I don't like it. So I will drink coffee and then I'll literally take unsweetened almond milk in a shaker bottle, put some protein powder in it and shake it really hard, and I'll drink that before I work out. Now, after the workout, let's say you've eaten lunch at like 1. Now you're going to work out. Let's say it's 4 o'clock. You don't have to eat then before. I'm talking about if it's first thing in the morning. If you've eaten in the last 2 to 3 hours before a workout, don't worry about it. Here's the funny little thing, because I swear women have it so much harder than men when it comes to this body of ours. We need that protein quickly after a workout. Men can go 3, 4, 5 hours. So for women, we probably maybe have like an hour window. So it's best to then eat real food, if you can, within an hour after working out. I know. It's like, anyways, we don't need to get into all that. But yeah, that's a really great question. So just remember that you have broken down the muscle fibers. You want to give your body something to repair with, so you're going to give it some protein afterwards. You're so welcome, and thank you for asking. All right, guys, I hope that I helped you. Come back next Friday, noon Pacific Standard Time if you have any questions. I'm just going to kind of pick a theme every single week to talk about. And then if you have questions outside of the theme, I don't really care. You can just ask away. By the way, I am a certified personal trainer and a sports nutrition coach. So just giving you a little background. Been doing this a long time. But I'm so happy to see you here, and I hope to see you again soon. Have a good day, everybody.